A warrior tries to meditate. Gita, Then and Now, Chapter 6, Part 1. Stillness begins with struggle. Then, after the intense discussions on karma and renunciation, Krishna introduces a different path, Dhyana Yoga, the path of meditation, a way to master the mind, a way to know the self through deep inner stillness. But Arjuna isn't convinced. He hears Krishna's words about equanimity, silence, and becoming like a steady flame in a windless place. He hears about withdrawing the senses, disciplining the thoughts, seeing the self in all beings. It all sounds elevated, noble, ideal. But then, with a mix of honesty and frustration, Arjuna speaks what so many of us feel deep inside. Krishna, this sounds beautiful, but my mind, it wanders, it rebels, it refuses to sit still. It's restless, forceful, powerful. Controlling it feels harder than catching the wind. And Krishna doesn't deny it, he agrees. Yes, Arjuna, the mind is indeed restless. But with practice and detachment, it can be brought under control. Not easily, not overnight, but definitely, steadily, eventually. Now, you sit to meditate. You want peace. Just 5 minutes of silence. That's all you ask. But the moment you close your eyes, your thoughts explode like a firecracker. Emails you haven't answered, messages you forgot to send, that awkward conversation from last week, that future plan you haven't figured out. Your to-do list walks in, fully awake, and drags you out of your calm within seconds. You fidget, you sigh, you try again, and again, and again. But it's like wrestling fog. Every time you think you've caught stillness, it slips away, and you wonder, am I just not made for this? Am I too scattered, too distracted? Maybe my mind is broken. But what you don't realize is, this is exactly where meditation begins, not in perfection, but in resistance. Then, Arjuna represents the eternal seeker, strong in the world, but shaken within. His question is our question. Can the human mind ever become still? And Krishna's answer is as compassionate as it is firm. Yes, the mind is turbulent, but that's not a flaw, it's its nature, and still, it can be tamed, not by force, but by practice, by patience, by gentle consistency. Krishna does not demand perfection, he respects effort. He tells Arjuna that even if the yogi fails, falls, or forgets, they rise again. No sincere attempt is ever wasted. The soul remembers. Now, in our world of instant results and constant stimulation, we expect meditation to work like an app. Quick, clean, controlled. But inner mastery doesn't come in a flash. It comes in waves of trying, failing, pausing, and returning. Stillness is not the absence of thought. It is the quiet space between thoughts that slowly expands when you stop chasing and start witnessing. When you stop fighting the mind and begin understanding it, not judging it, but watching it with curiosity, kindness, and commitment. Meditation is not about escaping the world. It's about sitting with yourself long enough to realize you are not the noise. You are the awareness beneath the noise. Then, Krishna lays out a practical path, not one of rigid rules, but of steady rhythm. He speaks of a yogi who moderates food, sleep, speech, and action, who sits in a quiet space with an even mind, who turns within again and again until the waves calm and clarity returns. This is not a mystical formula, it's a lifestyle, a way of being, where balance is sacred and repetition is power. Now, maybe you've tried meditating, and maybe you've told yourself, it doesn't work for me. But here's a secret. No one's mind sits still at first. Even Arjuna, a warrior, a prince, trained in focus and discipline, struggled with his own mind. So what makes you think your struggle is failure? Struggle is the beginning. Discomfort is the doorway. Stillness is not found, it is built, breath by breath, day by day. You won't always find peace when you sit, but if you keep showing up one day, peace will find you. Not because you forced it, but because you invited it, gently, repeatedly. Then, Krishna speaks of the highest yogi, not one who escapes the world, but one who sees the divine in all. One who has learned to master the mind, not to control others, but to connect with the self, and through that self, with all of creation. Now, you don't need to renounce the world to find stillness. You just need to stop running from yourself. Sit down, close your eyes, let the storm come, let the mind wander, watch it with love. and slowly, it begins to settle. Stillness isn't a destination, it's a relationship with yourself, a journey, a return, a remembering. Focus. This is not the chapter of perfect peace. It is the chapter of showing up, struggling, falling, and continuing anyway. Chapter 6 tells us that stillness is not natural, but it is possible. Not because we silence the mind, but because we learn to sit with it until it learns to sit with us. If this resonated with your inner journey, please like, share, and subscribe. Your support helps keep this space alive for all those seeking silence in a world that rarely stops speaking.